Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. They do. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shivy, he's gotta do something about it. The spike is ticking, but wrap up with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas. Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenges Series 4, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD. We have ACT as our fiber partner and AFK Gaming as our media partner. We are back with a new series, and I'm super excited because it is just the beginning. Rounder 256, you already know. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host and caster, and joining me, it's CA, caster, and analyst. And the first game that we have today is going to be Pyros versus Godlike Esports. CA, let us know how you're feeling. The tournament has just begun. You know, we are on the 4th of this whole 5-month long series. How do you feel about everything about the upcoming matchup?
For me, Series 4 is really going to be a test of all the teams because if I was saying some from my perspective, Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, I've always given the benefit of the doubt to the team for the mistakes they've made because of the fact that they have that time to build up. But now Series 4, there's just one more left after this. This is the time for everybody to pick up that slack that they had in 1, 2, and 3 and really bring us that fierce competition we expect. And starting us off with game 1, a team just that. Now, you may not recognize Godlike Esports by their name, but their team, when you see them, you definitely will. They are runner-ups from Series 3. I'm talking about Far Esports. Now, Godlike Esports, they're a team to look out for.
Indeed, Pyros, we haven't quite heard of them, but I have seen, the team name come up quite a bit, in the fixtures and whatnot. So, I don't think they're any strangers to, joining a competitive tournament. But Pyros, they are up against monsters. Godlike Esports is really cool because this organization picked up Far Esports. And like you said, they were runner-up, so basically second place in the TEC Challenger Series 3. So we know their strength. They're going to come back gunning for the top spot. And I don't think anything is going to stop them here in the round of 256. So for Pyros, they would have to, keep their head in the game. It's a really tough first match for them. And if you could give a few words of advice to Pyros, what would that be?
I mean, I think it's all about like trying to surprise your opponents in this meta, especially because with the recent patch, everything has changed. Like the way you approach sentinels, the way you want to utilize just the newer buff to breach, it really throws up the entire meta into the air. For a really good example of that would be Killjoy. Now, everyone in everybody's opinion, Killjoy is just nerfed to the ground. You can't use her the way you used to, where you just kept the turret and went to the other side. In my opinion, and this might be a slightly controversial one, I think the changes to Killjoy were actually somewhat of a buff because now her cooldown when you pick up the alarm bot or when you pick up the turret is like 7 seconds and 10 seconds. That means you can put it on one side. As soon as you hear calls from another side, take it down, go back and reset up right there immediately. And you can also use it for peaks and other ways. So it's all about bringing the ingenuity to surprise a top tier team like Godlike Esports.
Indeed, and now we can head over into the match. It looks like both the teams are pretty much ready, and we could start this out. Look, so Pyros, they're going to be on the side of defense, starting out here on split, and Godlike Esports on the side of attack. A bit of a pause, but not to worry. Both these teams, they got to get warmed up. And like I said, for Pyros, this game is going to be huge for them because they're up against juggernauts, and it's going to be really tough to beat Godlike Esports. You would have to say, luck probably didn't favor them so much here. In the round of 256, you are bound to meet some pretty strong teams early in the game, or maybe not. Usually there is a little bit of a skill mismatch, so, we could expect like a very dominant performance by Godlike Esports, but I'm not going to, have that kind of prediction for Pyros. I would like to see what they can bring. And what's really interesting about Pyros is that they've got a Viper. And I believe that we have only seen Viper once before on stream the last time around in Series 3. So what do you think about that Viper pickup and the whole team composition of Pyros?
Actually, the first time we're seeing it on stream, there was a team that played it in Series 3, but we never got to see them play it.
Right.
But this is the first time we're seeing it. I honestly am hyped. I've been waiting for a Viper pickup to come for 3 months now, and the fact that it's finally here, exactly what I wanted from Pyros, the ingenuity to try and surprise Godlike Esports. If there is one thing that you can count on, is the lack of practice against a Viper for any team. The Viper very much a low pick agent even in the solo queue competitive area as compared to just professional teams scrimming against each other. Split is the best map for Viper by far because of her ability to use her toxic wall and just split multiple sites altogether. You can line up the smoke and the molly in such ways that you completely take out heaven from contention, and then on defense, when you get a chance, you completely hold down a site altogether. Even though she's not really a sentinel, she can work really well as a sentinel. So for me, seeing this Viper, I'm really curious to see what Pyros is bringing to the table, because they chose to bring this Viper in place of a duelist, so in place of just pure fragging potential. So we'll have to see what they can do.
Indeed, and it seems like there's a few technical issues. So, they are going to restart that lobby. So remember, guys, we're going to take precautions. There can be a few in-game glitches, and we are going to be we're going to be back soon with the match starting. We just go straight into the game. So do stay tuned. Remember to like and subscribe. Click that bell icon because we're going to be streaming almost every single day. We're going to have juicy matches for you guys to watch. So you don't want to miss out on it. And, I just got word here that it seems like it's going to be fine. All right, we could go in. So, see, I just wanted to speak. You just mentioned about the Viper and Pyros, they picked that up. And I really like Viper because I feel that, she's a bit of an underrated controller, but she requires a lot of coordination and it's not too easy to kind of pull off. If Pyros were to, in my opinion, if Pyros were to actually, kind of take Godlike Esports by surprise, I think it would really, revolve around their Viper. They got to utilize that, and they will have to pull out all the tricks in their bag that Godlike Esports wouldn't expect at all. But knowing Godlike Esports and how they play, how do you think they are going to, kind of look at the situation and plan their moves?
I mean, for Godlike Esports, it's all about being that perfect team of sorts where they're just able to maintain their composure. We saw a lack of that a little bit towards the finals, and I think they're going to look to build upon that before they sort of look to make their mark in Series 4. I think this is a perfect start for them because it's them being surprised at very first stage and them being the team they are. Like, we know players like SMX, like Scargod, like Knight Rider and Shivi who can just completely pop off. And of course, I'm not forgetting Whitehorse because the ever trusty Cypher, he's going to be on point. So for them, it's all about staying true to their identity and their strengths and proving them that irrespective of what surprises come their way, they're going to come out on top.
Indeed, Godlike Esports, they have players like Knight Rider and Shivi. If anything, Knight Rider and Shivi, both of them, they were in different teams in the earlier series. Series 1 and 2, they were in God Particles, but they kind of, found themselves getting into the mix with Scargod, SMX, Whitehorse. They came out as Far Esports in Series 3, and then now in Series 4, they're under Godlike Esports. So if anything, I would say it's progression. And, it's pretty cool to see that Shivi and Knight Rider, we've seen their journey and they've made it all the way up to Series 4 here under a huge organization. It's really cool. So, once the match starts, we'll be right back with the action. So do stick around, guys.
Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. 3-2. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shiffy, he's gotta do something about it. The spike is ticking, but Rapper with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas.
Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. 3-2. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shiffy, he's gotta do something about it. The spike is ticking, but Rapper with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas.
Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. 3-2. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shiffy, he's gotta do something about it. The spike is ticking, but Rapper with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas. All right, guys, and we are back with the action. Sorry about the few technical difficulties that we have got, but we are ready to rumble. So here we have Pyros starting on the side of defense and Godlike Esports on the side of attack. And here we see Sammy, a familiar name, but it's a different guy. But Sammy here on the Sova, very much ready to toss that recon bolt. And, you know, I do feel that Sova is not extremely optimal here on the map split, but I'm excited to see what he's going to do with it here.
Revealing
CA.
area.
Yeah, very interesting team composition because no longer do we have the Viper. I'm a little sad about that, but I get it. But what we do have is Pyros have two initiators in the Breach and the Sova. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to look to play this because it is them on the defensive side and initiators is not where you want to have that now. Godlike pushing in aggressively through mid, already getting 2 kills for themselves. Godlike, they're not looking to waste any time whatsoever. They're getting into the action real fast. Pyros, they don't have any sentinels, and that's going to make defense really difficult for them.
Indeed, Godlike Esports, 5 members strong. They've taken out the side of the defenders, and Sammy will pick up the first kill for his team. But ScarGod is there to pick him up on that ghost. And there it is, Cloud9 Aspect just firing away. And he falls to ScarGod. And this is going to be Resistor here with the Boom Buddy. Just going to toss that out. And White Horse will get that spike planted. Last man standing, Resistor. He's pushing. Going to head over to screens. Going to try and look for a kill. And the Boombot does pick up SMX. Wow. A little bit of luck, but you can't say it was calculated as well. Resistor making his way in. And Chippy pulls out an amazing seismic blast. Sorry, that's not Chippy. It is White Horse, actually. And there it is, ScarGod picking up Resistor. Sorry, it is Chivy on his breach. But that's going to be the first round for Godlike Esports.
Yeah, Godlike Esports doing really well that round to make sure that they're able to use the mid control they have to rotate into the side they want. And while Pyros in Sami and the Rays did really well to pick up a couple of kills, is Godlike who will start off this round really well. What I think, like, so regarding Pyros' composition, right, what I think I don't necessarily like is, I like the idea of a Reyna being on the split, but the Jet Breach combo is so damn good when you're able to use that flash and then have the Jet dash in to be able to utilize the full capability of that flash. You don't have that on Pyros. Second, they don't have the Sentinel, so that makes defense really, really difficult for them. So what I really want to see them do is take the fight forward, use that double initiative. They have to be really, really proactive. Chidori doing just that will pick up first blood, will get flashed out and has to back off though. And it's actually Shivy and White Horse switching it up because Shivy is on the Cypher, White Horse on the Breach, so
Yeah,
Godlike doing a bit of experimentation.
Yeah. So I was a little bit confused there. You know, we usually see Chivy on the breach. He is the IGL of Godlike Esports, but this time he's going to be on that Cypher. But prior to that, you know, if you do remember when Chivy was still with God Particles, he was a Cypher main. And that's going to be Chidori here with the Spectre. Just going to pick up that or reposition himself. But Chivy catches him by his tail. And that's going to be a 3v3 situation. Pyros, seems like this eco round is not going too bad. But if you are looking at the health bars, they are in a little bit of a pickle with that Omen severely low. Knight Rider, he's gonna spray and pick up Resistor, and Godlike Esports, they've managed to get the spike planted. But we do see that the defenders, they are going for this rotate here. And Knight Rider picks up Sensei, and that's gonna be a 4K for Knight Rider right off the bat. First 4K, Knight Rider always does that. He just picks up all these frags, does what he does best, basically, on Jet. The key duelist for Godlike Esports.
That's the biggest issue with not having a Sentinel, because even though Chidori gets the opening kill, then it gives an advantage to Pyros in this round. Pyros, they don't really have anywhere to go to. They don't have a strong L to defend from. They don't have that Cypher Trapfire that they can work around or the Killjoy abilities for themselves. They only have the initiators, so once they get that opening pick, they need to keep aggressing and trying to surprise Godlike, because right now Godlike, they're on the front foot. But that was the eco round for Pyros. We'll see if they can answer back. This is what I mean. That breach flash coming in with that Jet dash used to perfection. Knight Rider getting that opening kill.
And that's gonna be Sensei spraying. Just gonna back away, toss out a few abilities. And the knock cover should put off Godlike Esports from attacking just for a little bit there towards the B tower. Now we have Chidori on vent duty. Might just come into contact with ScarGod, and that is a perfectly timed flash. Now Chidori, he might just go for his peek again. He picks up the kill onto Scargod. And he's just gonna back away SMX, trying to look for the return kill. But meanwhile, Knight Rider picks up one for himself. Pyros down to 3 members. Godlike Esports, they still have the man advantage. Knight Rider just gonna toss out a cloud burst. And he might just get into a battle. And Resistor picks him up, shoots him in the back. Whitehorse there to trade that out. 2v3. And the spike is yet to be planted. 35 seconds on the clock. Godlike Esports, they gotta pick up the pace just a little bit there.
30 seconds left.
Pyros is buy down, so Pyros, for them, they need to just delay as much as possible and hold on to their ground. Now Godlike, they're making a lot of noise towards B, but they're using that noise to shift onto A. Aspect, he's holding it down, goes for the seismic blast at the wrong time though, and Whitehorse will just climb out to Wentz, take him down. 10 seconds left, they're gonna go straight for the plant. SMX will get it down. Now 3v1 scenario, Chidori, he has the gun for himself. Will get tagged by the fault line, will get taken down by Whitehorse. Agents might have switched, but the strength and the dominance of Godlike, that remains.
Wow, Whitehorse on this breach. I kind of dig it because, you know, he did toss out quite a number of abilities that were really useful. We saw one, which was the Seismic Blast, that actually kind of forced the defender to back away. And that was a really good fault line, so a good bit of anticipation there from Whitehorse on that breach. I'm really looking forward to that. And that's going to be 3 rounds strong for Godlike Esports. Pyros still struggling to find a little bit of footing. If anything, I do feel that split is a little bit more defense favored, and Pyros should try to definitely secure some rounds here. It's going to be Knight Rider just trailing through a ramp for that opportunity. Shivy here meeting up with the rest of his crew. They're firing away here on the middle side of the map, and we do see Chidori just backing away with Sensei right around the corner. But they're going to have a little bit of patience, you know, defenders. If you're not all that confident, you don't have to be aggressive. Just sit back. And the paranoia does connect with multiple members on the side of Godlike Esports. Pyros, they still remain safe for now. Less than 1 minute for the attackers to make something happen.
5v5 still, they're all fighting for mid control. It's gonna be Chidori who finds first blood, takes down Shivy. All of Godlike right now funneled into mid, but Knight Rider, he relieves the pressure, gets a double kill down at A Heaven, and that will be Godlike funneling in onto A. For the side of Pyros, they have no idea though, because in the breach, he seems to be going away from A side. Now, as soon as the spike goes down, they should get an idea, but the spike is on Whitehorse, and Whitehorse is just sticking around in ramps, waiting for the rotations. Now he's going to make his way onto site and get the spike planted. Pyros, they seem to be collecting themselves now. They're going to go for the rotations. With the help of that smoke, they will get the information that all of Godlike is at site A. Now, 4v3 situation. Whitehorse is really low, so Pyros, if they can get a kill, they can get it going, but instead of these, Scargod holding it down from A long, getting that first kill, SMX on ramps with the second, and Godlike, they're just starting to run away with this matchup. This should be an easy 4-0.
And the last member standing, Aspect, he's just gonna back away. And Godlike Esports, they are gonna secure the 4th round for themselves. So, you know, they do look really comfortable here. Meanwhile, Pyros, you know, there's a lot that you have to match up to when it comes down to, you know, raw aim, mechanics, and even team communication. Because Godlike Esports, they managed to climb so far in Series 3 all the way up to 2nd place. And, you know, that requires a significant amount of, you know, teamwork and working together. But Pyros here, we would like to see a little bit of that, and hopefully a bit more skill when it comes to their gun battles. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, how this whole match is gonna play out.
It's going to be really interesting to see how Pyros is going to be able to respond, because I do think their composition is slightly attacking favored, but the fact that they're starting on defense, it just ends up being a mega jumble for them, because Godlike, you can't give them a huge lead. They will just run away with it entirely. And talking about mega jumbles, their loadouts seem to be just that. Semi-buys coming all across. It's only going to be Chidori with that full loadout and that Vandal. Godlike, they're just running the script once again. They understand that they're not in a position where they have to switch stuff up once again down mid. Now the Empress will get popped by Chidori. 5v5, Chidori looking for some kills. Chidori looking to be the rejuvenation his team needs. But Godlike, every single time Pyros try to make a play, they're aware of it and they rotate and they make them pay for even trying to think of something in the first place.
This is Godlike Esports. They have their eyes set on the B side. This is going to be Resistor, first man of defense here. And the lack of sentinels on Pyros. Let's see what they're going to do with this aggressive push. The dark covers are being placed. Resistor gets tagged. The paranoia. Shivy's going to find first kill. And so does White Horse. He's going to find the second. And Pyros, they are rotating. Chidori picks up Knight Rider. And Chidori has been, getting multiple frags. Definitely trying to pick up some of the pressure and the load off of his team. Scargod here just hanging around. He's gonna spot out Chidori, but SMX picks up the kill. He's gonna get a double, and Scargod to finish it off. That is gonna be the 5th round for Godlike Esports.
Yeah, I mean, this is the round of 256. We expect a few skill mismatches here and there, and it's starting to really look like that. Because, as you said, right, Chidori, he seems to be on point with his team, because even here, you see him, he throws out the flash perfectly, goes for the play, but then not really backed up by his breach, ends up just dying in the crossfire. You need that communication in your team where if Chidori is advancing into the site, the breach needs to be on with him advancing into the site and then using the abilities. That's not coming through, and you can see why Godlike, they're a top tier team, because for them the communication always comes through. Now 5-0, Sami has picked up the op. We'll have to see if he can make it work.
Operators, we love it. And Sammy, he could try to go for the highlight clip, but he's just got to pick up those frags. So, that's going to be a huge investment on the side of Pyros, and they have to make that work, because Godlike Esports, they haven't dropped a single round yet. They've got all 5 for themselves, and they seem pretty comfortable doing so, because all these rounds they are ending off with at least 2 members alive. And that's going to be Knight Rider finding a double, making his way onto the B site. The remaining members of Pyros, they're scrambling. They got to make their way through. Sammy, he has the op in hand. He's got to make that work. White Horse planting the spike. Shivy's going to find Aspect, shoots him in the back of his head. And Sammy here with the op. He's going to be sandwiched pretty soon, but he's going to be patient and wait. But, Godlike Esports, we can see their discipline. They got the spike planted just in their post-drop positions, and Scargod fires away, picks up the kill on his clone. Last man standing against Sammy here with the op. And let's see what he's going to be able to do. But it looks like Godlike Esports will secure another round for themselves. Oh, and Shivy takes him out.
I mean, this, as you were saying before, right? Whitehorse on the breach, it really seems to suit him. We've never seen Whitehorse being the proactive player, stepping in to lead the fights, and now he seems to be doing just that. It really sort of speaks to the player's strength, and it's really nice to see a team like Godlike experimenting early into this round, because as we said earlier, these are our runner-ups from Series 3, so we expect them to be doing exactly how they're doing. It's just a matter of how clean can they make it. With the flawless round and a 6-0 scoreline, they're definitely looking extremely clean. They're looking like they've learned their lesson from losing in the grand finals and have applied it really well to the team. Communication improved, and now with a new name, they've come to just take the series by storm. 6-0 for Godlike Pyros. For them, it's all about just picking up that 1 or 2 rounds and trying to get Chidori on the Reyna really going.
Indeed, we do see Aspect. He has invested in an Odin there on the breach. Let's see how it's going to pan out for the defenders. Scargod here, he's pushing, and he's going to find Aspect, and Knight Rider does find a kill onto Chidori as well. And with the top frag down on the side of Pyros, will the remaining 3 members be able to pick up something here? And at this point, Pyros, they should aim for at least a single round under their belt. SMX finds the kill onto Sensei. Sammy here, he moves up into vents. White Horse gonna get the spike planted, and Sammy gets tagged with the dart. He's got to remove the tracker. Resistor here, and Scargod takes him out. Last man standing. Knight Rider wraps that up. Flawless round for Godlike Esports.
7-0 flawless round, and the way they played that round, especially so clean. Godlike Esports, they really look like they sort of just having fun right now. And towards the end, that skin, that reverse skin, back now in Valorant, it looks so sick. SMX rocking that skin, looking just as good. Now 7-0 for Godlike. Godlike, they're running a very standard composition on this matchup. It's the Jet, Breach, Cypher, Omen, Raze. We've seen time and time again. So Pyros, they really know what to expect. Godlike, time and time again, they've pushed down mid, they've taken control of mid, and then gone through the heaven of one site into the site itself. So Pyros, they need to try to respond to that. They seem to be trying to do that, just that now with 3 members stacking into mid, but they're not going to find anything because Godlike, once again, Godlike, they predict it and they acknowledge it and they come out on top.
Indeed, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade there, but we do see Knight Rider dash in. Chidori, he's got to be ready here with the Stinger. And there it is, he finds the kill, but Knight Rider returns it. Pyros, 3v3. They do have the slight advantage, but it's up to them to completely utilize that. We see the Rolling Thunder come out from, I believe, was Whitehorse. No, it was Aspect that did that. And he is going to push from the back. So, you know, you can't see the Pyros. They are trying to come from multiple entrances. But Knight Rider and SMX, they're going to take out 2 members right off the bat at Aspect. Last man standing with the Vandal in hand. Let's see if he can pick up a couple of kills, but SMX takes him out. 8 rounds for Godlike Esports. You know, we usually see a bit of a skill mismatch in the round of 256. And hey, that is completely fine because a tournament like this, it does create an opportunity for many teams to get a taste of what competitive is like. And that is exactly what Pyros is getting here. I do want to see them take at least 1 round. You know, if there is a skill mismatch, the best that you can hope is to try and look for a little bit of development. What we would ideally like to see come out from Pyros is that they analyze the situation, try to realize what Godlike Esports is doing, and then just outsmart them. Pick up that 1 round for yourself to show that you are versatile, that you know how to adapt and kind of tune yourself to the circumstances around you.
Yeah, that's definitely what Pyros need to try to do, especially try to use the idea of having a Sova and Breach to sort of just let free this Chidori and Reyna and try to go all out aggressive. But now Chidori on the Empress, he does have the capability to pop off and go with Godlike all towards mid. This is his chance, but for the side of Pyros, the Breach really low already. He's used up most of his abilities, so they don't really have a way to enter even though they have 2 initiators. And they're just trying to hold it down. Godlike, for them, it really feels like they're taking it extremely seriously in the way they're continuously just switching up the strategy, playing to their mind games. Now Chidori finds a kill onto Shivi. Shivi spotted him out, but it'll be Chidori first through the trigger. Makes it 5v4. This could be a round for Piros to pull it back, but SMX makes it even. Now this round has an operator once again, and Chidori with a second kill on that Empress. Reyna really starting to pop off. Maybe Piros will give us that 1 round we really wanted from them.
All right, Pyros. They've got the man advantage this time. And I did feel that Shivi wasn't quite, you know, having his head in the game that he did fall, but Knight Rider picks up the double right there on the middle side of the map. Chidori and Sensei both falling to him. If anything, Knight Rider always comes up heavy, but Scargod, he has a bit of a suspicion, picks up Sammy, and last member standing is Resistor, and Scargod's gonna get a double to end that off. 9th round for Godlike Esports. And, you know, a little bit of light there for Pyros, but they kind of dropped the ball. They got to stay on their toes a little bit more because Godlike Esports, they know how to take their opponents off guard.
Yeah, Godlike Esports, they're not like this team who seems to be just running the same strategy back to back and assuming it'll succeed because of the fact that they are just mechanically better. They're very much taking this matchup seriously. They're continuously switching it up. Some rounds they play very, very slow. Some rounds they use the breach ability to gain ground and then push onwards. This round you can see they've just left the spike behind. They're going for the kills. All of them completely spread out now. They will pick up the spike and they will get mid control. We'll see where they can go from that, but it's Sami. Sami gonna get that first kill. Works out, but SMX and Whitehorse each getting 1 back. I was just gonna say, him being on the Spectre works out much better than him being on the Operator. So we'll have to see if we can make it work, but it seems like not. Now Neural Theft will come out for Godlike, and they have an advantage. It seems like an easy 10-0 for them.
Indeed, Pyros, yeah, they're still doing their level best to try and get this 1 round for themselves. Unlike Esports, they're doing a good job stopping Pyros at all costs. The defenders are not giving up. They're gonna try and go for this. Scargod fires away, and we do see the Sova slip away just by an inch. And Scargod tossing out that satchel. He's gonna wait very patiently. He has a rocket launcher. Showstopper picks up the kill onto Sammy. Meanwhile, SMX finds Aspect and Resistor just jumping away to safety. He fires away, picks up SMX, but Whitehorse is there to return it double digits for Godlike Esports. And, you know, I'm still hoping, Pyros, you guys can get one round for yourselves.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible, but ideally, I'd like to see them do it in the defensive half because 12-0 going into the pistol round, where I do think they would be much better in the attacking round because of the fact that they have 2 initiators. But 12-0 means that Godlike, they'll just come out all guns blazing with their pistols and try to finish it off with a 13-0. So ideally, I'd like to see them pull it off in the next couple rounds. We'll see if they're able to do that because we really haven't seen them try to switch it up. They went for the mid stack once, but that didn't work out and they seem to have changed it. Now they're going for the A push and they are going to get spotted out. And Shivy on this look with the trigger control will find 2. Shivy and SMX with that crossfire finding 3. 5v2 now, and this is what I mean. Godlike, they constantly switch it up, and Pyros, they just can't seem to find their ground.
Indeed, you know, Pyros, they tried to go for that pretty quick push there from the A side into the attacker side spawn, but Shivy and SMX, they got them good there. But, you know, taking a look at the scoreboard, Knight Rider with 17 kills. I mean, you know, if you are new to watching the Challenger series, you know that Knight Rider pops off and he does it time and time again. And, you know, that's the kind of consistency that is really good for the team. So Knight Rider there, Scar God also picking up his weight, and Pyros, they gotta do something. They can't leave it all up to Chidori. We know that he's got multiple frags, but Pyros, let's see what you got here in this last round before the swap. Now Chidori's just gonna back away. He has the Vandal in hand. Just gonna stay safe in Vent's aspect, looking for a small rotation. Scargod gonna find the first kill here onto Sensei, and Knight Rider picks up Chidori. Now Scargod, he is on site. He does get flashed. Whitehorse gonna take down Sammy. Knight Rider finds Resistor, and Aspect last man standing. He's gonna toss out a flash, but Scargod's too quick. Match point for Godlike Esports, and it looks like it's actually gonna be a clean sweep for Godlike Esports here.
Yeah, I mean, this is Pyros' chance to try and make something work. They're on the attacking side. They have the breach and the Sova. What you can do with this, like, and I'm saying this purely theoretically because we don't really get to see 2 initiators, let alone the Sova on split often. What you can do with it, I guess, is use the Sova to clear out one particular angle and then use the breach to force the other angle completely. They're on the A side and you can see the way the Sova is just slightly backed up from the team. It feels like the Sova arrow is going to go towards mid while the rest of their team forces towards A. This round is for Piros to pick up. They really need to try to pick this round up to try to not make it a 13-0 for them because this is match point for Godlike and they're extremely strong in defense. We'll have to see if they can do that, but now Scargod holding strong from heaven, finds that first headshot. Down goes Chidori and down goes the fragging power of Piros.
And now Scargod firing away. He found that kill so quick onto Chidori, and Pyros caught in a bit of a pickle. This might just be their last round, and a perfectly placed seismic blast from Whitehorse. And that is going to take out a chunk of HP out of Resistor. And we do see the paint shells blowing it up. Resistor is cutting it close here. And there it is, him firing away. Shivy's gonna pick up a triple! That's a 4K to end this first game on stream off. Shivy holding it down with that ghost. Man, oh man, Shivy. Wow, that was a great 4K. But Godlike Esports, they came in strong. They placed second place. They were the runners up in Series 3, and they are showing us why they deserve that spot. And they are coming back here in the Challenger Series 4 way stronger. But man, this 4K, beautifully done.
That's exactly why you want to have a Sentinel on split, on defense especially, because the Sentinels are extremely strong. Shivy displaying us just that with his Cypher. Easy 4K for him, all of them coming in through heaven from ramps. He's like pop, pop, head, pop. Easy game for Godlike Esports, exactly how you would expect it. Piros, they tried, but they simply couldn't stand up to the power of Godlike Esports as we know it. So GG to Piros, but Godlike, they're going on to the next round.
Yeah, you know, it kind of happens. And, you know, in the round of 256, it's a lot of skill mismatches. But hey, this tournament is where you can get a taste and competitive. You can join it, and we can see that Pyros. I hope you guys have fun. Now is unfortunately not the time where you will advance further into the competition, but it's going to be Godlike Esports. Now let's head over into Relive the Moment, brought to you by Ideapad Gaming 3 notebook powered by 4000 series Ryzen processors, perfect for gaming and multitasking. And talk a little bit more about both the teams. I think Pyros here, they did do their very best. And, you know, Chidori, I believe that he was the top fragger for his team. He did manage to win, you know, a few gun duels I thought was really cool. I do hope to see Pyros kind of sharpen their ability, you know, try to take away some learning points, having the opportunity to go up against a team like Godlike Esports. Because at the end of the day, you know, there's nothing bad out of losing a game. You just learn and you can come back stronger. So Pyros, I hope this is not the last of you guys. And as for Godlike Esports, let's just, you know, take you guys through this team. So Godlike Esports is a team that we might see very often, and that is solely because of the strength that they have. They have really good communication and teamwork. We do see this team use abilities together as a unit. You know, they got those combos going, and if anything, Knight Rider is one of the very few players that frags out of his mind, and he's an extremely important duelist for Godlike Esports. But don't get it twisted, because all the other members on this team, they are good at what they do. And today we see Whitehorse on the Breach and Shivy on the Cypher. It's almost like, you know, Godlike Esports, they have all these tricks in the bag, and they're kind of just pulling this out, you know, they're testing it. And it seems like, you know, they're kind of en route to some pretty unpredictable and interesting things. They got cards that they can pull out against competition that, you know, they won't expect.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see from a team in the second tryst in such a competitive scenario, because Godlike, the team that is Godlike right now, they got to all the way to the runners-up stage in their very first tournament as a team together. And now that they had time to really build upon their individual synergies, build upon their agent pools, and build upon their individual comforts in where it lies for the team, you can see they're really starting to thrive. It's really nice to see a very clean round coming in from them in the round of 256, because as you said, we expect to be seeing this team time and time again throughout the series, potentially even once again make it to that grand finals and try to get the championship from themselves, which they couldn't last time. This time, completely clean for Piros. I would just say, you really do need a Sentinel. I get the idea that after Cypher and Killjoy both got nerfed, you maybe you're sort of flirting with the idea that, hey, perhaps we don't need Sentinels. But even a Sage, and as one of the person like who genuinely doesn't like Sage as much currently in the meta, I would say even a Sage as a Sentinel works perfectly, especially on Split, because you just sort of deny one entry altogether. That wasn't really there for Pyros, and it just felt like Godlike, they could take whatever fight they wanted, and that's why they came out on top.
All right, Pyros, we hope to see you guys next time. But congratulations to Godlike Esports. You guys have made it over to the round of 128, and it's just the beginning. So remember, guys, this is the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 4 you're watching, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD. We have ACT as our fiber partner and AFK Gaming as our media partner. We're going to be back very shortly with the next match of the day, so do stay tuned. Like and subscribe, click that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. We will stream the entirety of this tournament, and you don't want to miss out on any of the action. So stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly.
Time, every day goes by so fast, and every moment counts, baby. I don't want to miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're
Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. 3-2. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shivy, he's got to do something about it. The spike is ticking, but wrap up with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas.
Velocity can feel it. Velocity have done it. 3-2. They take the grand finals and are your undisputed champions.
Shivy, he's got to do something about it. The spike is ticking, but wrap up with the triple kill to end it off. Your champions are Team Tamelas.
And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Take my hand, and we don't need to do the things we don't want to do.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenges Series 4, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD. We have ACT as our fiber partner and AFK Gaming as our media partner. We are back with the last game in this second half, and it's going to be HawkX Official versus Squadron. Now, both these teams, we are very new to them. We have no idea what they have in store for us, but we do know that they will be playing on Ascent. And when it comes to Ascent, you know, a lot of long-range gun battles, and it requires a lot of coordination, a lot of rotation, especially if you know the defenders are really quick to answer to the attackers. So you know it does require a significant amount of teamwork. So CA, what do you think we can expect from this upcoming game?
For both of the teams, it's all up in the air because I think while we have seen a little bit of Hawk X before in the series, they've never really made it very far into the series. Same goes for Squadron, right? In coming into Ascent, it's a question of how you're going to be able to use particular agents to the max efficiency. I want to see a breach on both the teams. There is no excuse to not have a breach, in my opinion, in this meta because other than Haven, Breach is just too good on every single map. He got a buff in the previous patch notes as well. He was already strong with his triple flashes, but now not only do his flashes last longer, but his fault line charges faster, and his ultimate and fault line, they start a little bit of 8 meters distance away from him. And while this may not sound like a huge buff, it is because of the fact that it just adds 8 meters to the other end where he's able to get that flash, or he's able to get that ultimate, not really prioritizing what is right in front of him. So Breach, I think, is a must pick for basically anybody, and I think that's where the question mark for a lot of team comes in, because Breach is an initiator, Sova is amazing on Ascent, so you have to sort of balance which initiator you do choose to pick, and the initiator you pick, a Sova slightly more defensive, Breach slightly more aggressive, that dictates your playing style.
Indeed, you know, and Breach requires a lot of teamwork. It's such a great agent to set up flashes, to set up opportunities for your teammates. Another agent that I really like on Ascent is Jet, and solely because you know Ascent, there's a lot of range, and you can play a lot with the op. And what other agent is better than Jet? To be on the operator, and you know there are going to be some sneaky spots where you can updraft onto, get some sickening kills, and you know we have seen some of the most amazing highlights in the Challenger series throughout the course of it, and they have mostly been Jets on Ascent. So you know both these teams, Hawk X Official versus Squadron, I hope they pick up a thing or two. Now, another thing about you know this map Ascent here, in the previous game, we saw that, you know, the team didn't quite run a sentinel. Now, if you're looking at a matchup, you know, an initiator is very much important. What would be your ideal setup? I think personally, I would personally like, you know, one sentinel, at least two controllers and two duelists on a set. Yeah. What do you think about that, CA?
Yeah, so I can see a world where you might want to sacrifice one duelist for an extra initiator if you want to run both the Breach and the Sova. So you could do something like Jet, Breach, Sova, Omen, and the Killjoy, because that would basically set you up for a very aggressive composition. And I know that's really weird sounding to a lot of viewers when you put in the Killjoy. with an aggressive composition. But the way Killjoy works on Ascent, especially with the new changes, is that you can use the turret in those mid areas where there is long walls. Put the turret on top of walls, and the turret basically grants you a free peek on the other side of the wall. Therefore, like when the turret starts firing, you get knowledge of where the other person is. Therefore, you can go for your own peek. And what this is enabled by in the previous change is that you don't have to wait for the turret to get damaged. As soon as your turret gets a peek, you can pull it back. 10 seconds later, you have it again because of the buff. So Killjoy very much use the abilities to try to peek, use the molly to try to force out corners and then push in aggressively. But yeah, it's the Killjoy, the Omen, the Sentinel, the Omen, and the Breach, I think, are must picks. And with the Breach, the Jet package just goes along perfectly. So the fifth agent is really up to them. Personally, if they ask me, I'd be like, go pick a Viper just because I want to see a Viper, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, that's, wishful thinking on our end. Viper is an agent that, we don't see very often. I think for every other agent, they do get their moments. Some teams, they have their signatures. Sometimes we see a Jet might be swapped out and instead there's a Raze, or, there might be a Phoenix instead of a Breach. I think, we have seen that on a couple of teams. Now, before we go into the match, let's talk a little bit more about the whole setup here on Ascent. One thing I want to talk about is how to play attack when you're on this particular map, because it's a little bit tricky. So, Ascent, you have the mid area and then you have the B side, the A side, pretty standard. But we have seen a lot of teams that start out on the attacking side kind of fail when they throw in everything that they got onto a particular site, rather than, trying to play mind games, creating noise on one side of the map and then going for the rotate. It's almost like it's really difficult to attack on Ascent if you don't rotate at all, unless, there's a clear skill mismatch. How do you think, these teams should kind of approach it?
I mean, it's because of what you said earlier, right? You're talking about the fact that Ascent, it has such long corridors, but those long corridors, they're only available in the mid areas. They're not really available in the A or B entry points. So attacking those A or B entry points, it just funnels you into this narrow corridor, which is extremely difficult to pull off. So you want to pull those defenders away from their sites by pushing into mid, putting pressure on mid. And then once those corridors are clear, you can easily funnel into this site and then go for the plays. So that's what I'm really looking for from all teams in this series. Just the idea of rotations and playing very slow.
All right, so it seems like we just got word here that there are a few technical difficulties. That's something to do with, the in-game mechanics. We are working on a quick fix. We will get the action to you guys as soon as possible. And it seems like, I don't think, oh, okay. So here it is. Here is the news. I'm very sorry, but unfortunately, we are not going to be able to stream this game that was supposed to happen at 6 p.m. due to all the tech difficulties. But what we will do is come back for the second half that kicks off at 8 p.m. So remember to like and subscribe. Click that bell icon. We're really sorry about it, but we'll be back with the second half with more juicy games. And I do believe that you can expect to see teams such as Reckoning Esports, RevX, Necrosis, and a team called Team TakeOver, which is one to catch because it's going to be pretty cool. So remember, guys, this is the LG Ultragear TEC Challenges Series 4, powered by Ideapad Gaming and AMD. We have ACT as our fiber partner and AFK Gaming as our media partner. That is all for the first half. We'll be back with the second half, so do stick around, subscribe. It's going to help. Check out the links in the description, and we'll see you guys later in the evening. Happy gaming.
Every day goes by so fast, and every moment counts, baby. I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do.